Alright, bet. Now we're back. And I'm over here. I'm over here on the right side. Alright. And I have fixed everything too. So, let's rock and roll, everybody. Let's rock and roll. We have all of our teams in place. As I'm about to start this, it only took, what, half an hour? But bet. We have 11 conferences this year. We have 11 conferences. 136 FBS teams, technically. All these different people. But let's get into it. The AAC, the American Conference, led by the Cincinnati Bearcats. And then you got the Louisville Cardinal, the Memphis Tigers. Then you got the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and then the SMU Mustangs, the Syracuse Orange, the Temple Owls, the Tulane Green Wave, the UCF Knights, the Yukon Huskies, the South Florida Bulls, and the West Virginia Mountaineers. That's your American Conference. Moving along to the ACC, you've got the Appalachian State Mountaineers. You've got the Boston College Eagles, the Clemson Tigers, the Duke Blue Devils, the Florida State Seminoles, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, the Maryland Terrapins making a comeback, the Miami Hurricanes, the North Carolina State Wolfpack, the North Carolina Tar Heels, the Pittsburgh Panthers, the Virginia Cavaliers, the Virginia Tech Hokies, and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. That's your ACC. The Big Ten, you got the Illinois Illini, the Indiana Hoosiers, the Iowa Hawkeyes, the Michigan Wolverines, the Michigan State Spartans, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, the Northwestern Wildcats, the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Penn State Nittany Lions, the Purdue Boilermakers, and the Wisconsin Badgers. In the Big 12, you got the BYU Cougars, the Baylor Bears, the Colorado State Rams, the Houston Cougars, the Iowa State Cyclones, the Kansas Jayhawks, the Kansas State Wildcats, the Oklahoma Sooners, the Oklahoma State Cowboys, the TCU Horned Frogs, the Texas Longhorns, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. In the Conference USA, you've got the Charlotte 49ers, the East Carolina Pirates, the Georgia Southern Eagles, the Georgia State Panthers, the James Madison Dukes, the Liberty Flames, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, the Rice Owls, the South Alabama Jaguars, the Troy Trojans, the University of Alabama at Birmingham Blazers, and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Independents, you've got Air Force, you got the Air Force Falcons, the Army Black Knights, the Hawaii Rainbow Royals, the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, the Navy Midshipmen, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the UMass Minutemen, and not listed is actually a brand new team, the Delaware Blue Hens. Making the jump from FCS, the Delaware will be in NCAA 26, and they will be in the game, and they will be an independent. The MAC, the Mid-American Conference, you got the Akron Sips, the Ball State Cardinals, the Bowling Green Falcons, the Buffalo Bulls, the Central Michigan Chippewas, the Eastern Michigan Eagles, the Kent State Golden Flashes, the Miami of Ohio Redhawks, the Northern Illinois Huskies, the Ohio Bobcats, the Toledo Rockets, and the Western Michigan Broncos. In the Mountain West, you've got the Fresno State Bulldogs, the Nevada Wolfpack, the New Mexico Lobos, the New Mexico State Aggies, the North Texas Mean Green, the San Diego State Aztecs, the San Jose State Spartans, the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, the UTEP Golden Miners, the UTSA Roadrunners, the Utah State Aggies, and the Wyoming Cowboys. To the Pac-12, you've got, and yes, the Pac-12 is back, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona Wildcats, the Arizona State Sun Devils, the Boise State Broncos, the California Golden Bears, the Colorado Buffaloes, the Oregon Ducks, the Oregon State Beavers, the Stanford Cardinal, the UCLA Bruins, the UNLV Running Rebels, the USC Trojans, the Utah Utes, the Washington Huskies, and the Washington State Cougars. In the SEC, you got the Alabama Crimson Tide, the Arkansas Razorbacks, the Auburn Tigers, the Florida Gators, the Georgia Bulldogs, the Kentucky Wildcats, the LSU Tigers, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, the Missouri Tigers, the Ole Miss Rebels, the South Carolina Gamecocks, the Tennessee Volunteers, the Texas A&M Aggies, and the Vanderbilt Commodores. Last but not least, the Sun Belt. You've got the Arkansas State Red Wolves, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, the Florida International Panthers, the Florida Atlantic Owls, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, the Kennesaw State Owls, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, the Marshall Thundering Horde, the Old Dominion Monarchs, the San Houston Bearcats, the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, the Texas State Bobcats, the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks, and finally, the Missouri State... Missouri State, whatever the fuck they're called. I think they're the Grizzlies. Yeah, the Montana State Grizzlies. The Missouri State Grizzlies that are not listed in this game, but unlike the Delaware Blue Hens, are going to make the jump to FBS and play in the Sun Belt. Have mercy on your soul. Alright, all of the teams are in their right conference. All of the teams have been said. All of the teams have been done. It's now time for the best part. Who will I coach in 2026? Actually, it won't be the light heel. So this is a two-part deal. I'm gonna give the team that I want to manage the most from each conference, just one conference. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pick out the team that I want to from each conference, and then at some point, there's gonna be a decision to be had that between those 11, which team that I would like to be. So, I was told to give my recommendation. I waited till 10:40 on a Friday night on 4th of July, but, when you are just fucking insane on NCAA 25, you do whatever the fuck you want. So, if I want to do a stream about this shit, I'm going to do it. So, let's get into the shit. And I hope everyone's made sure. I hope you're taking notes, because I'm not going through this again. Someone is watching this, right? Nope, they are not. Well, I'm not going over this again. I am live, right? Okay, I'm live. Alright. Here we go. And I don't really have, like, we're going to start, like, we're going to go by alphabetical order, so there's no favoritism or no bias at all that I'm going to, about what team I'm going to do. But, ladies and gentlemen, first off, we're going to start with the teams that I am not allowed, or the teams that I am not going to be. There is a list of 10 of them. We have so obviously we cannot be the University of Tennessee again, as we cannot be the same college more than once on a game cycle. So we cannot be UT. We cannot be the following teams because another person or a multiple set of people have declared this team, and I am not going to fucking fight them for it. So these teams are off limits. You've got the Delaware Blue Hens, you have the Missouri State Grizzlies, the Syracuse Orange, the Memphis Tigers, the Kentucky Wildcats, and the Oklahoma Sooners. Those teams are off limits. And then those three teams I am not going to be on I am never going to pick these three because fuck them. That's why. I'd rather do anything else. And those three are the Alabama Crimson Tide, the Florida Gators, and the Georgia Bulldogs. So those 10 teams are not going to be, I'm not going to pick any of them. Yeah, not Alabama, not Florida, not Georgia, not Tennessee, not Delaware, not Missouri State, not Syracuse, not Memphis, not Kentucky, and not Oklahoma. So let's get into this shit. We're going to start with the American Conference. And there are some good teams here. Like, I like Cincinnati. Tulane would be cool. UCF would be no. But there's one obvious choice, and that's the SMU Mustangs. They're the first team to get a golden ticket, and I'm going to call it golden ticket. SMU. They got a really good team. I like their quarterback. I like their team. The Pony Express. If you kids don't know about them in the 80s, late 80s, they were the shit in college football. Of course, the Death Peddler kind of killed it for them. Now, they just made the playoff last year in an insane comeback. Can Dope Randy complete the transformation and do something that the Pony Express never even did to begin with? And that's win a national championship down in Dallas. Only time will tell. Only time will tell, my friend. The ACC. Now, there's a lot of good teams here. I like these teams. Boston College would be fun. Georgia Tech would be really fun. Wake Forest is cool. But we're going to go by Appalachian State. The Mountaineers, boys. The Mountaineers from Boone, North Carolina. They're one of the best group of 5 teams over the past 10, 15 years. They're going to make the jump to the ACC. And I would love to coach this team. You know, they lost their quarterback, but they got a really good running back coming back in the fold. And North Carolina, especially Western North Carolina, they care about their football. And I will have the community all behind me like it's nothing in this bitch. So I would love to coach Appalachian State. And especially going to the ACC, can they do it? Only time will tell. The Big Ten. I mean, a lot of these teams to me are relatively boring. Indiana's eh. Nebraska, meh. Northwestern's too easy. Michigan, meh. There's one team that sticks out, and that is a team that used to be really good. I mean, even as recent as 4 or 5 years ago, this team was fucking almost in the playoff. This team was actually in the playoff not too long ago. The Michigan State Spartans from the Big Ten will get another golden ticket. And also, yeah, Appalachian State gets the second golden ticket. Michigan State gets the third golden ticket from East Lansing, Michigan. You know, they've fallen on hard times. They've had Mel Tucker, fired Mel Tucker. They're looking for an identity. They're looking for a culture. They're looking for identity. I can get them identity, especially in this rugged Big Ten. If you take away the obvious Big Three, there's a void there. We can compete right off the bat with these guys, and I can fucking take it to Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. I can take it to all these fucking guys. Michigan State is a good quality football program. So Michigan State is number 3. Time will tell. To the Big 12 we go. Now this is interesting because you've got several teams here that are kind of cool. You got the Baylor Bears, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, all these teams, right? But we're going to go to the Cowboys. The Oklahoma State Cowboys, you know, they need to get to that next step. They've been there and done that so many times. You know, they've never even made it to the BCS. They've never even made it to the playoff. We have a good group. Boone Pickens Stadium is always a tough place to play. Get the sticks going. It's on like Donkey Kong in this. It would be on like Donkey Kong in this bitch. You know, I would love to play as Oklahoma State. That is the 4th golden ticket. Will we go there? Time will tell. Conference USA. Now this was fun. I'm not gonna lie. There were options all across the board. You know, you got East Carolina. You got the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. You got Middle Tennessee State. It writes itself, right? Georgia State, Charlotte, Troy, all of these teams, really. But we're going to go to James Madison. The James Madison Dukes. The 5th team to get a golden ticket from Leesburg. Yes, from Leesburg. The small private, or not private, but the small college. They had some success in the FCS. They went up around the same time as Appalachian State did. And one's kind of succeeded and the other one's kind of just faltered there. They beat Virginia Tech twice. And that's about it, really, unfortunately. They deserve to be like Appalachian State, put on a pedestal, if you will. They have a great fan base. They have a great culture. They need someone to take them to the next step, and that could be me. That could be your boy Doug Randy going to James Madison and taking this fucking team to the next level in the brand new Conference USA too, because we have opportunity here. We have opportunities. So, James Madison, and their colors look pretty good, and those jerseys look sick. So, the Dukes. The Independents. Who are we going to be from the Independents? There's a couple of good ones. Of course, I can run it up with the Naval Academies. Notre Dame. That'd be cool. But I'm going to go to the island, the Hawaii Rainbow Royals would be sick. That's number 6. And I tell you what, it's a 5 hanging 10 in Hawaii as we put up wins on the football field. You know, Hawaii hasn't been relevant since the 2000s with Colt Brennan. Rest in peace. And that little bunch that, of course, went undefeated, cemented themselves as one of the best group of 5, one of the best seasons from a group of 5 team of all time. And since then, Hawaii hasn't done a damn thing. And I mean a damn thing. They've been kind of sad, really. The Rainbow Royals, they deserve so much better, especially from the island. The brand, the whole shtick, it's football on the island should be respected. And maybe I just have to go over there, wear my luau's, and get Hawaii to the top of the college football award. Time will tell. To the Mid-American Conference we go. We have 12 teams. I mean, it's more of a preference. It's more of a preference. Some stories are better than others. For me, it's all about preference. I've always admired this team. The team from Kentucky, the Bowling Green Falcons, number 7, the Bowling Green Falcons. You know, I've always liked them. They've always been respectable. They've never really been decent. Unfortunately, they haven't been, like, decent at all. Which sucks, but it is what it is. But we can change that with a couple of seasons. Bowling Green, we can, like, match it up on file, especially with my brand of football, the hard-nosed, ground and pound, defensive sound football could get us really easily into contention. And not only conference contention, but maybe even title contention. And build up this brand from 1.5 to 5. Can I do that? Only time will tell in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Mountain West. Oh, this was the funnest one. Because, I mean, I like all these schools. It's easy. Yeah, it's really easy to pick one. I'm down to 2. I was down to 2, and it took a long-ass time. So, San Jose State, I tell you, out of everyone that we're going to go through, out of every single conference we're going to go through, if I had to pick a team, it would be San Jose State if I had a second choice. This team, I love this brand. It's a new team, it's a new day, and they're looking to rebuild. But there's one that's just staring at me straight in the face, and we gotta take it. The Wyoming Cowboys. Now they need help. Ever since Josh Allen left the school, they need help. And Josh Allen graduated, the Wyoming prestige went out the window. But I can change that quickly. The Wyoming Cowboys, out in Laramie, Wyoming, the only football team in the state of Wyoming. They have a cool stadium. The color wave, it writes itself. It can be cold, it can be hot, it can be rainy, it can be subtle. I mean, Wyoming don't really. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Will it happen? Time will tell. Time will fucking tell. The Pac-12. You know, there's options here too. But we're going to go Boise State. Now, fun fact. Boise State is actually one of my favorite colleges to root for. That's not Tennessee. I've always been a Boise State fan. I've appreciated what they've done. Of course, they went to the playoff last year. They've probably been the biggest group of 5 team I can recall. In terms of success and size, they're always on TV. They're always getting players. Kellen Moore, Ashton Genty, just to name a few. I mean, they are the greatest show, is what they just said. They're moving up to the Pac-12. They're finally playing big boy football. Like I said, they made the playoff last year. They got a new quarterback, new running back. Can they continue what they left off in the playoff and all that shit and continue to move up the college football road and maybe even do something they've never done, and that's win a national championship? Time will tell. The SEC. Now, again, we have Bama, we got Florida, we got Georgia, Kentucky. Literally 4 to 14 I can't even pick. Tennessee. I'm going to miss Tennessee, but I can't pick them. 5 of the 14, really. But for me, there was down to 2 choices. And we're going to go with the LSU Tigers. National champions from the second season. Yeah, from the second season. LSU, I love their fan base. I love their spirit. They're rowdy, they're obnoxious, they're damn good at football. I mean, they are champions on and off the field, and I would be honored to take LSU. They won 1 national championship in 6 seasons. But I mean, we can win more than 1 with LSU, especially with the bumps they got coming back. And for the future. Now I'd be honored to go to Death Valley on a Saturday night and coach LSU. But will it happen? Time will tell. Our last conference is the Sun Belt Conference, the Fun Belt Conference. And, I mean, there are so many people you can pick for this shit. But there's one that we're going to go with, and we're going to go for the Kennesaw State Owls. You know, a team that's finding its footing. It was the newest program in college football until Delaware and Missouri State decided to enter this year, but they were the newest. I mean, this is the second time ever being in a game. They're still really small. They're still really underdeveloped. It would be amazing if I could take Kennesaw State from the doldrums of college football to the mountaintop of the sport that we all love so much. Bringing Kennesaw, Georgia to the promised land. Not Athens. Not Atlanta. Not Tuscaloosa, but Kennesaw, fucking Georgia up in this bitch. Would be amazing. We can absolutely do it. If we put our time and our soul and our dedication to this shit, we can make Kennesaw State natty champs. They've got the fans. I'm getting ahead of myself. They've got the jerseys, they've got the style, they've got the brand. We just need to put it all together. Can we do it? Will we do it? Only time will tell. And that is your 11 teams that have made it to the second round of Dope Randy's decision. Of course, it's going to be a big decision, like LeBron James, if you will. LeBron James ain't got shit on me, boy. Again, if you just tuned in, which I doubt anyone has, it's 11 o'clock on 4th of July weekday. In the American, we're going to go SMU. In the ACC, we've got Appalachian State. You love to see it. Also for SMU, you love to see it. The Big Ten, we're going to pick Michigan State, the Spartans. Big 12, we're going to go for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The Conference USA, we're going to go with the James Madison Dukes. As an independent, we're going to go the Hawaii Rainbow Royals. In the MAC, we're going to go Bowling Green, the Bowling Green Falcons. Mountain West, we're going to go the Wyoming Cowboys. The Pac-12, we're going to go the Boise State Broncos. The SEC, we're going to go for the LSU Tigers. And in the Sun Belt, we're going to go for the Kennesaw State Owls. So that's your 11. I really ain't got nothing else for you. I will decide on a final team when we get the game, and that'll probably be. Now I'll probably won't make an episode. I'll just pick the team and make the coach and then pick the team and all that all in one. But that's the 11. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate all the other teams picking. I appreciate all the other teams reaching out for my services. But we only have to pick up. We're down to 11. We're down to 11. All from all different parts of the land. It would be insane what happens. I appreciate everyone's support. I appreciate everyone's time and attention. I hope this reaches the right people. And we're going to go from there, guys. Thank you all so much. We're not going to be stopped. Appreciate the Greatest Showman soundtrack. Y'all have a good one. And yeah, thank y'all so much.